Hello, you're through to customer services. I am Gwynneth. How can I help you? Bearing in mind I am not authorised to do anything other than say, I'm sorry about that, sir/madam. If I could just take your and then hang up.
Oh, hello. I can't remember my password for internet banking.
I'm sorry about that, sir/madam. If I could just take your... And that's Blockbusters. Hello, NHS Direct. What seems to be the problem, other than the fact you are willing to accept a medical diagnosis that's been made over the phone?
Talking and not talking with Laura Solon.
What are you doing back so early?
I quit my job.
What? Why would you do that?
Because I got offered a much better one. For standing before you now is the new Robson and Jerome.
Robson and Jerome?
Present, correct, and ready to launch. Yes, this morning I'm sat at my desk deciding whether or not to risk a third hobnob when all of a sudden the phone rings. Hello, is that Adrian? Affirmative. Hello, Adrian, it's Amanda from television. Do you enjoy light Sunday evening dramas? Love them? Well, in that case, do you want to take over as jaunty acting duopolis Robson and Jerome? We've got a new police drama. It's set in the 50s. It's called Everyone Was White Back Then. And we need you to play the new male leads.
It's just that they haven't really done anything together for a while. And whilst you're not an actor, you're definitely not two actors.
Yeah, I know, but maybe they thought casting two actors would be obvious. Everyone expects actors to be on television. Let's mix things up by putting a chartered surveyor from Bracknell on there instead. And let him play both the parts. That'll put a ruddy danger rocket in your living room. Brace yourself, Nana. It might be Sunday night, but this is going to be mash-up.
People often ask me why I use Terra Masalata as a moisturiser. And I say, don't knock it till you've tried it. But you will smell of fish.
I'm back here once again to catch up with entrepreneur Carole Price. Now, Carole, of course, you decided to become an entrepreneur after your divorce.
Yes. And even though it was just 5 years ago, I am fine and doing really well.
Now, last time we spoke, you were flat broke and living in your car.
Well, that's not quite true. I was living in a car.
Sure. But now, here you are. You've got a new business, a new flat, money in the bank. How did you turn it around?
It's all down to a little invention of mine called the spork. Halfway between a spoon and a fork. But with a twist.
Which is?
You can only use it as a knife.
Right. And you took this idea to the Dragon's Den.
I did.
And what happened?
Theo Paphitis and James Caan said they were out before I got to the top of the stairs. I did half the presentation before Peter Jones was out. Duncan Bannatyne was oot. And Deborah said it was the worst thing she'd ever seen and then threw up.
But you ignored them and went on to make Sporks a huge, albeit unlikely success.
No. But the government saw it and asked me to be the face of their new website, offering credit crunch advice to business startups.
And what's the website called?
www. For God's sake, don't end up like Carol, that would be awful.org.
My memory plays tricks on me. Just the other day, it balanced a bucket of water on top of my bedroom door and then cut the bums out of all my trousers.
Hello there, I'm Annabelle and I live at number 38.
Oh, hello. I'm Stephanie. We've just moved in.
Oh, I know that, Stephanie, because I saw the big removal lorry arrive yesterday and watched as the men unloaded what I think I'm right in calling a white leather three-piece suite.
Yes, except it's not white, it's pearl.
Of course it is. OK, Stephanie, what's going to happen now is something I like to call the Will We Get On quiz. I ask you a few questions about your three-piece suite and then use your answers to help me decide...
Will we get on?
Correct. But unfortunately, that was a practice round, so won't count towards your final score. OK, question 1. When you bought the pearl leather three-piece suite, were you under the influence of powerful eye-blinding mind drugs?
No.
Question 2. Does the pearl leather three-piece suite have a lever which releases a footstool/detachable puff?
Yes! And it's got a pouch for the remote control.
Help me help you, Stephanie. If a man or a woman, but it's a woman, were to save up enough money to fire your pearl leather three-piece suite into the sun and replace it with either another pearl leather three-piece suite or a neutral tone sofa from John We're Not Here to Muck About Lewis, would you say, pearl please, or collapse onto the John Lewis one, unable to comprehend the nightmare from which you've just escaped?
I like the pearl. It goes with my jeans.
I did not even notice you were wearing those.
So, are we going to get on?
Not get on.
Who would play me in the movie of my life? Cheryl Cole. Yeah, I know she's not an actress, but I really think she could pull it off.
Yeah, I just booked into room 328, but I reserved one with the garden view, and I can only see about a fifth of the garden.
OK, well, I don't deal with reservation changes. Sally does. And Sally plus your complaint times now equals don't do it, save yourself.
What?
She is really, really cross.
I want to speak to her now, please.
OK, but it's your ill-attended funeral. Sally? And cue you.
I want to change my room to one with a full garden view. At present, I can only see the terrace.
Of course, sir. I'll just put those details into the system for you. So, you want to change your room because you're a man from Mantown with a degree from the University of Man-Brilliant Women Slaves. I must obey you and then go back to my kitchen and badly parallel part you some dinner.
There's no need to get hysterical.
I'm not hysterical. If I was hysterical, you'd be in A&E having your man bit shot back to life.
Look, I just want...
You just want to shut up! Because you have no idea what it is like to juggle a full-time job with a family of 4, a guinea pig with diabetes, and a husband who thinks that if he takes off his trousers and stands in the kitchen singing an a cappella version of Sex Machine, it's going to turn me on! Well, I'm sorry. The machine is 52 years old. It goes from naught to finished in 6 seconds, and it never takes its socks off!
Oh, dear.
Now, do you want to change your room, or do you want me to show you what I learned in my burlesque seduction class?
I'll stay in my room forever?
Is the right answer!
Do you ever get that thing when you forget a word? It just pops out of your mind. Happened to me yesterday. I was just stood there going, shed? No. Shaft? No. Sharp? And then I remembered. Shark. But by that time it was too late. I will miss Phil.
And in political news, a recent survey published by the Teenage Trust says that 80% of young people believe this government doesn't care about them. I'm joined by MP Hermione Hardcastle. Hermione Hardcastle, this is troubling.
It is, and I was very saddened to read these results because it's completely untrue. The government does care about young people. It's old people we're not bothered by.
But how are you going to get this message across?
Well, I've been trying to attract young people to my constituency meetings by offering free cider and chips. But unfortunately, cider and chips are also catnip for slags. And there's only one thing worse than promising free drinks to slags, Jonathan, and that's running out of free drinks and facing the wrath of their leader, Tasmin, nicknamed Virgin, because she isn't.
So what else are you going to do to regain the trust of young people and voters in general?
Well, I believe that people in this country are fed up to the back teeth with political spin doctoring and sexing up. So I've launched a direct government campaign which calls for every MP to be honest with the electorate and tell them how things really are and what we really think, starting now.
And what would you like to tell them?
Well, I would like to state, very clearly, for the record, that I did not like the film Babe.
What?
The film about the talking pig. It was a huge hit in '95, and at the time I said I thought it was great. That was untrue. I actually thought it was nonsense.
Yeah, but...
Pigs don't talk, Jonathan. When I was Minister for Rural Affairs, I had to visit over 2 farms. At no point At no point did any pig try and make conversation. There was a sheepdog that winked at me and tried to buy me a drink, but that's a story for another time, because I also want to be honest about the latest unemployment figures.
Thank goodness.
We made the people who make the unemployment figures unemployed. So the last set were a guesstimate, or as mathematicians would say, wrong.
For years, my father warned me that I might suffer from male pattern baldness. I just never realised I would have no choice in what the pattern would be.
And now on Radio 4, the shipping forecast.
Greetings to one and all, except for Cleaner, because I hate Cleaner. She is too short, she is too poor, and she smells of manual work. Now, the shipping forecast is issued by me, as in me, the lady of the house. There are warnings of gales in Viking, Fisher, Biscuit, Duvet. These are gladiator names. Hoover, Hedgehog, Hunky, Chunky, Almonds. There's a secret of my beauty. Now, today was the day that China Lion and I had scheduled Nightmare on the Women 2. You might recall that Nightmare on the Women 1 took place last year on St. Stephen's Day, when I made them play a game of slugs in mugs. What you do is you take some slugs, put them in some mugs, and then say, women, I can't be bothered to learn your names. But if you do not eat up all your mugsy slugsies, I will cancel your wages, and some or all of you will die. Then you have to run around shouting, Nightmare on the Women, Nightmare on the Women, because that is the brand message you are trying to get across. Now, the first thing you have to do when you plan the nightmare is decide upon the theme. China Lion suggested fancy dress, and I suggested Kate Hippopotamus, which is not so much a theme, just what would happen if you took Kate Winslet and a hippo, and two became one. Now, in the end, we decided the theme would be Muesli Madness. So whilst China Lion gathered the necessary breakfast supplies, I went upstairs and put on special Nightmare on the Women pants, which, if you must know, are the ones with the apocalypse on the side. Then I summoned the women to the breakfast room by shouting, women, breakfast. In they came and sat on the floor like a really boring carpet. And I said, prithee, what is the time, please? And one of them said, it is 9:30, madame. To which I replied, no, it is 9:30 nightmare. I have 50 bowls of muesli and I will smash them on your boobs. I got to 4. Then I was apprehended by the large one they call Prue. She said, Madame, you are the nightmare, and sent me to my room. But suck it up, Prue. If you get Huffy Puffs that muesli on the boobs, think how cross you're going to be tomorrow when we play bird poo tennis. Because I am serving and the court is your face. So tomorrow then, good times, I love it.
And now it's over to Val d'Isère for the Skiing World Championships, where British hopeful Amanda Robbins was competing in the women's downhill. Sarah Peters caught up with her after the race.
Amanda, the winning time was 2 minutes 13 seconds. You were a little off the pace at 3 hours 47 minutes.
Yeah, but in my defence, the course was very steep, very slippy, and absolutely covered in snow.
And I think a lot of people want to know how you came 45th out of 40 skiers.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those things. I stopped to put on lip salve halfway down, and a couple of spectators and a goat just made it to the bottom before me. But to be honest, I'm just pleased I made it here today, because being a British person, your natural instinct when you wake up and see snow is to take the day off.
So, Mrs. Dabrowski, do take a seat. You've been in the UK now for 4 months, and you've yet to find a job.
That is correct, yes.
Well, don't you worry. I'm here to help you out on that. Now, what sort of work were you employed in back home?
I was a tyrant.
I'm sorry?
A tyrant. I was a despotic ruler of a small Soviet state. I was very good at it. People used to call me Olga the...
Right, and what sort of skills did it require?
General tyrannical behavior, seizing, killing, dictating, using crocodiles as a weapon, and devising cruel and restrictive laws. 1 year, I banned speaking out loud. Another time, I made it illegal to have feet. But my favorite law was called the Furious Crocodile Law, which required every adult male to spend 2 hours in a cage with the crocodile, poking it with a stick to infuriate it. It was almost as unpopular as there must be tarantulas in your pantulas rule, which led to the medical condition known as spider bomb.
So, is there a particular industry you had in mind?
Well, I'm very good at being unyielding in the enforcement of petty rules. So I don't know if there's something in airport security or one of those teachers who have worked for too long at the same school.
And is there anything you won't do?
No. In fact, everyone used to talk about how I was capable of pretty much anything. But of course, there's only one thing worse than being talked about, and that's being arrested for talking about me, dipped in honey, and then fed to a bear.
Imagine my surprise when, having paid an exorbitant amount of money for a certain rectal procedure, I discovered, thanks to a spelling error, that I had actually just been host to colonic immigration.
At long last, the United Planetary Super Council of Four shall yield to my superior command, and I, Lord Dargex, shall become ruler of all the universe. Why are we stopping?
The sign, Lord Dargex.
Mighty Spidlack from Saturn, King Larvatron from Mars, Lunopola from Jupiter, and Pamela Harris from Bedfordshire County Council Earth are your United Planetary Super Council team. In accordance with health and safety legislation, these doors are now gravity locked, and all entering through must be accompanied by trained gravity personnel. Please ring for assistance. Well, ring it, General Fargorn.
Hello, Pamela Harris. Did you pre-book an appointment?
No. I am Dargex, picked Lord of the brutal galactic forces and Commander-in-Chief to the Emperor's forces. I do not pre-book.
Okay, in that case, if you turn up tomorrow morning at 9, you can queue for the open surgery. Or if it's an emergency, I have a 2:30 on Thursday the 29th.
I demand to see the council now.
Well, we're not actually in session today, but if you want a tour of the chamber, go and see Helen in the Brook Building reception.
Where is the Brook Building?
Right, go back to the main entrance, take the first left after the main doors, along, second left, keep going past the super laser, down the stairs, where you will come to what looks like a long corridor. Don't go down it. It's an assault missile chute. Instead, you need to bear right, go out through the doors at the end where you see a moon-sized space station. That's the Brook Building. Go in through the main gate, the doors should shup. If not, key code 14484, and then you're at reception. Take a ticket. Say Pam sent you. She'll know what that means.
Very well. We shall return within the hour, and then destroy you utterly.
Oh, in that case, you'll need to fill out a Destroying People Utterly application form. It's the light blue one on the shelf between apocalypse permits and skip licenses.
We decided to bring up our children as vegans. It's not a moral thing, it's just meat's quite pricey, and this way they don't have the energy to muck about in the car.
My boyfriend and I both lost our jobs in banking earlier this year. My redundancy was as a result of cutbacks, whereas David helped bring down his hedge fund by falling asleep at his computer and pressing F9 for 2 hours with his chin. So we decided to go travelling for 6 weeks in Thailand. We went hiking in the mountains, trekking in the jungles, and spent several blissful weeks on the many beautiful beaches of the islands. And it was on one such beach that we wondered why we didn't live there permanently. We were young, bright, hard-working, and we'd always wanted to set up our own business. Now, it obviously had to be in tourism, and we'd noticed that a large number of the tourists were Dutch and English men in their 50s and 60s. And so our business should be tailored towards them. And what, we thought, do those thousands of Dutch and English men in their 50s and 60s like to do on holiday in Thailand? Well, let me tell you. 2 years and £60,000 worth of debt later, the answer is not murder mystery themed cookery course paintballing weekends on a yacht. It's sex parties in sex bars that serve sex, egg and chips.
The first thing I do when I get up is a Sudoku. I don't want to, it's just I have a really complicated novelty alarm clock.
And now on Radio 4, a question of 6, where we ask a guest 6 questions about the cultural events of the week. Our guest this week is Max Petri-Dish, critic, broadcaster, and massive tool.
Action!
You went to see the new Coen Brothers movie, which tackles themes of...
Hated it.
Where did you get your buzzer from? This isn't a buzzing show.
I brought my own.
The new production of Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Dream, starring...
Shakespeare's dead, both literally and culturally speaking. Midsummer Night's pointless. Over.
How can you write something off you refuse to go and see?
Well, that's the point. I didn't even watch it, and I was still so bored I medically died for 14 minutes.
Are boring people boring?
Buzz. Buzzing is now also dead, so instead I will just say buzz. Buzz. Woman who just spoke to me, can't remember your name or what you said, but it was redundant and not as good as questions people asked in the 70s.
And finally, an idiot says buzz.
Not buzz.
Still said it. The first thing I do when I get up is have a huge double gin and tonic without tonic. Because if you've got an au pair, a cleaner, a gardener, a garden cleaner, a housekeeper, a chef, a driver, and a woman called Svetlana who definitely does something but you're not quite sure what, then drinking gives you something to do in the day.
We'd followed this chap all over town and watched him spray his tag Fury09 on various bus shelters and primary schools. And I was pretty sure he wasn't Banksy, but Jane wanted to check. She wanted something to make our house stand out. It's a falling market these days. And what better than a bit of clever Banksy graffiti that might end up in a nice book or the Independent and Sunday supplement. So I approached Fury09, explained the situation, that we weren't the fuzz, although Jane had applied to be a magistrate twice and failed both times. But really, the only case she's likely to crack is a case of Beaujolais, which was Ian's line from Christmas about Alison, but I thought was rather good. But the fellow said he didn't even know what Beaujolais is. What are they teaching them? And furthermore, that he wasn't Banksy, didn't know Banksy, and all he really does is Fury09. I suggested he could spray something like a monkey child with an iPhone that's really a rifle. You know, something to make the complacent middle classes question their assumptions. But he just looked at me as if I was something from the 1990s. So I got back in the car and Jane and I agreed that a cellar extension was probably the way to go with the house, and that if she ever did become a magistrate, some hope, and Fury09 came to court, she'd ruddy well sentence him to teleportation, which is from Star Trek rather than an actual punishment. But I didn't say anything as it was late, and I didn't want another of her silences.
Knowing how unhappy I would be at the prospect of a younger sibling diverting my parents' attention, my father told me that my mother's pregnancy bump was actually the child catcher from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang incubating inside her stomach. The arrival of my new younger brother Steve after 9 months was consequently something of a relief.
Is the job complete?
He won't be insulting you with late repayments any longer. He won't be walking for a while neither.
Good work. Now, what... Who's that?
I don't know.
Mr. Edwards, nightclub owner, property developer, and East End hard nut.
Yeah?
Hi, I'm D.I. Keever and this is D.S. Sullivan. We're undercover lady police officers and
Helen?
What?
You can't tell him that we're undercover lady police officers or he'll know we're police officers.
Oh my God, you're absolutely right. I really like your top, by the way.
Thanks. Monsoon, $15.99.
Shut up, it is lush.
Not as lush as your gorgeous ballet pump.
$8.50 M&S sale.
No way. I would never have guessed.
I know. Anyway, the point is, we know you're running dirty money through this. Where have they gone?
Did they just walk off?
Typical.
What are we going to do now?
We're lady police officers, Sullivan. We're going to go shopping, arrest some bargains, and then take a bottle of white wine and wasabi peas in for questioning.
Next week on Lady Cops.
They found another body. Strangled. That's 3 in a week. It's as if they're connected or something.
Oh, my God.
What is it, Sullivan?
Have you seen this postcard my friend Claire sent me? It's a baby dressed as a penguin. Ah!
The wife and I do history reenactments in our spare time. At the moment, we're reenacting the summer of 1998. So she's putting on 4 stone and I'm having an affair with her best mate, Prue.
And that was, of course, Black Chateau with their new single, We Built This City on Garlic and Orangina. My name is Sandrine. Welcome to Paris Chat. My guest this week is head of the most exclusive vineyard in France. His name is Roger Laguide, and his palate is so sophisticated, he can detect over 6,000 different nuances of taste. Roger, welcome. Now, I assume the first thing you tasted when you came into this studio was, we are both French, and so we're really great.
Yes, Sandrine, that is correct. I also detected tones of being better than everyone else in every single way.
Of course, and it also smells of fact. Now, you are head of Chateau Dion, which only produces 6 bottles of wine per year. Those that wish to drink it must pass a rigorous selection process, culminating in a tomb filled with cups, guarded by a knight from the First Crusade. If you pick the right cup, you are allowed to try the wine. A wrong cup, and you age rapidly, turn to dust and die. So, Roger, for those that will turn to dust and die, what is the wine like?
Well, I don't want to blow my own hose, but when people experience my wine, it is like they're having an out-of-body experience where they rise up to heaven and see the majestic face of the Son of God. It is beautiful, omnipotent, impossibly perfect. And then they look a little bit closer and they realize it is not Jesus, it is me. And I am naked.
Now, there will be people, stupid people, in cork hats, who will say Struth, Bruce, Cricket, our New World wines are much more popular than those from France. Put another shrimp, brackets, our cultural legacy to the world is neighbors and home and away, on the Barbie. What would you say to that?
I would just say you are wrong, and the reason for that is because I slept with your mother and she was fat.
Well, I cannot think that anyone can win the argument from there, but some idiot called Melanie from Sydney is going to try. Melanie, I'm deafened by the noise of you being wrong. What is it that you want to say?
I've worked in the Australian wine business for 15 years,
and we have to put the phone down on Melanie before she says something so boring and so stupid that it puts human lives at risk. And once again, that is all we have time for. Playing us out is the latest single from Henri Lefebvre. My heart is jumping for joy like the horse who does not know he will shortly be an hamburger.
Talking and Not Talking starred Laura Solon with Rosie Cavaliero, Ben Moore and Ben Wilbons. It was written by Laura Solon with additional material from John Hunter and Holly Walsh, Charlie Miller, Gareth Gwynn and Ben Moore. The script editor was Jeremy Dyson and the producer was Colin Anderson.
Hello. This week I'm going to show all of you hard-working mothers out there how to make a family Christmas dinner. And it's really all in the timing. So on Christmas morning, what you need to do is set your alarm for 5:30 a.m. and get up in a really big huff. Don't overdo it. It's a long day. You need somewhere to go. Personally, I like the huff to be big enough so that when your family offer to help and you say, no, darlings, just relax, everything's under control, the dog smells danger in the air and moves to higher ground. Now, there's around 3 hours till the meal, so you need to start drinking. Some people use champagne, but if you want a proper mum rage, in my opinion, there's no substitute for warm white wine, mixed with cheap gin. By the time you sit down at the table, you should be so ready for a fight that you've already accused the Christmas tree of spilling your drink. So make sure you serve the turkey undercooked. That way, when your husband points it out, you can shout, well, as you don't love me enough to pay for a new kitchen, I'm forced to struggle on with an oven that's broken inside. Beat, 2, 3, mutter like our marriage. You then sleep for 2 hours face down on the bathroom floor, as is your womanly right. Then just when everyone thinks it's safe to go back into Christmas, you nail yourself to a big cross and lock yourself in the kitchen weeping, "No, no, it's all right. I'll do the washing up. I might as well. I've done everything else."
It took 5 years, a lot of research, and several thousand man-hours, but finally we have discovered who ate all the pies. And it is, in fact, an enormous man called Barry Bigface, who lives just off the A329 near Bracknell.
And now a report issued by the Countryside Association claims the UK farming industry is on the verge of extinction. Joining me now is Minister for Rural Affairs, Hermione Hardcastle.
I'm not Minister of Rural Affairs, Jonathan. I had one rural affair, if you could even call it that. In fact, the Commission ruled that anything under 15 minutes where the man keeps his socks on is a hump.
Does this government care about farmers?
Of course we do. Farms are very important because without them, there'd be thousands of cows on the loose. And I want to get the message across that there is nothing this government won't do to secure the future of the farming industry.
Right. Well, they're asking for £100 million and a ban on cheap foreign imports.
OK, there are two things this government won't do to secure the future of the farming industry.
And of course, you left your post as Transport Secretary to become Head of Rural Affairs. Do you have any comment on the Rail Watchdog's recent findings that Britain's trains are the most expensive and crowded in Europe?
I certainly do, Jonathan. I can refute it on two levels. Firstly, it's one side of the story. Passengers may feel the trains are expensive and overcrowded, but I can give you the number of a lady in our marketing department who will explain they are in fact desirable and popular.
Yeah.
Secondly, I would challenge the use of the word overcrowded. Recent government legislation brought in last week means that overcrowded is now only applicable to a situation where two people share the same pair of trousers.
I love Madonna. I mean it. I really love her. I want to be just like her. But the judge said that wasn't a good enough excuse for stealing all those children.
Hello, you're through to customer services. My name is Gwynneth. Could you please read out your 12-digit account number, your dates of birth and postcode so that I can finish the rest of my custard cream?
Gwyneth Andrews, this is Angela Roberts from HR.
Have you tried turning it on and off?
No, what? Look, no, Gwynneth, I'm ringing from HR. I'm sorry to say that we are going to let you go. We've had too many complaints. One woman said she would have received more help from her basset hound, and her basset hound was dead.
Fair enough.
You're not surprised?
To be honest with you, I am the worst telesales advisor I've ever met, and I am sat next to Keith, who has spent the last half hour answering his ham sandwich and eating his phone.
Well, you have 20 minutes to clear your desk. Good luck with whatever you do next.
Yes, there must be a job out there for an apathetic no-hoper with abysmal people skills who enjoys working to a frustrating set of illogical rules which can be used to ruin people's days. Hello, my name is Gwynneth, and can I just say that you are flying budget air, so don't get your hopes up. How many bags would you like to check in today?
Just the one?
That will be €20.
Well, sorry, isn't a bag included in the price of the ticket?
No, we are a no-frills airline, not a giving stuff away free charity.
All right, well, I'll just take it on as hand luggage.
Sure, and you want to take it off the other end?
Obviously.
That will be €20.
All right.
Are you going to be fully clothed when you enter the aircraft?
Well, of course I am.
Because it's €20.
What if I take my clothes off?
Well, that would be €20 as well. Now, do you want the plane to have a technical check before it departs?
Yes.
€20. And finally, would you like the pilot to be young and inexperienced or old and drunk?
What?
I'm just joking with you. There's no choice. He's old and drunk. So that's €100 plus €25 for something else. So let's just call it €500, or with the airport exchange rate, £16,000.
My friend Lynn swears by this diet book called Think Yourself Thin, and in some ways it worked really well. She was able to think herself 2 stone lighter. Unfortunately, when she opened her eyes again, she was still as fat as a house.
Carole, after your divorce, you spent 18 fairly fruitless months trying to make it as an entrepreneur.
Well, it wasn't completely without fruit. If you remember, I set up that fruit swap website, www.doyouvanttobuymmy_fruit.com, and at the end of it, I had a bag of satsumas and 3 pears.
Yes, but you didn't make any profit.
Well, I did make a profit, it just had a minus in front of it.
But finally, you've decided to jack in the business dreams and try to forge a new career in television.
Yes, I finally realised you have to play to your strengths. I founded over 21 businesses, and to do that I had to come up with over 21 different ideas. And what other job do you need to have ideas in?
Most.
That's right! Television! And what kind of television do people love? Car crash television! My producer says he's been waiting his whole life for me. So keep an eye out this year for Carole Price's Kitchen Nightmares. It's me falling asleep in my kitchen so the viewers can watch me have nightmares live. And then there's also Carole Price's How to Look Good Naked, which is basically footage of me standing in the dark.
And in rugby news, it's been a bad day for the England team. Sarah is down on the touchline with captain Simon Holt.
Another disappointing result for you, Simon.
Yeah, I mean, it always hurts to lose to any international rugby side, but to lose to Cheltenham Ladies College, I mean, we're gutted.
Now, Brian Moore in the commentary team was saying at half-time that he felt sick. He would never get those minutes back, and there were face creams that could play better. Would you agree with him?
Well, I don't know what face creams he's referring to, Sarah, so, you know, it's difficult to say. But, yeah, we had a bad game today, but that's sport. You know, sometimes you win, sometimes you get beaten 86-3 by 17-year-old girls.
And now on Radio 4, our book of the week is J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings.
Oh, what the hell, voices, lady? You are joking on my face. Lord of the Rings. Lord of the boring. They have the rings, they lose the rings, they drop the ring. Dwarves, put the ring in a safe and stop going on about it. If I want to bore myself, I will do what I did yesterday and spy on some potatoes to see if they are fruit transformers, mangoes in disguise. But they were strong and kept up their terrible charade. Now, one of the women, I can't be bothered to learn her name. She said I should read one of my favourite books, so either The Hungry Caterpillar or Jane Eyre. And I said, listen, Chatterhorn, for your information, my favourite books have changed to ones I wrote myself. They are The Lion, the Witch and the Peanut, 20,000 Leagues Under the Paddling Pool, brackets, Good Times, I Love It, and Volume 1 of my autobiography, A Passage to Shut Up and Go Away. Then I went into the morning room for sport with China Lion. We have invented a new game called Mind Dragon. All you need to play is some women, 20 scones, and a dragon in your mind. Hide the scones underneath the bed and then be very well behaved for 40 days and 40 nights. This will lull the women into a false sense of security. So on the 41st day, they will think nothing of bringing lovely toasted triangles for breakfast in your room. Come in, the women, you say. There is nothing to fear. Then when they open the door, you shout, except for the Mind Dragon! And then you scone them in the face. After that, I put on my correspondence hat, which, if you must know, is the one made out of felted pens, and then wrote a letter to the Queen. Dear the Queen, hello, how are you? Did you know that if you change some letters in your name and take some out, it is an anagram of Notorious B.I.G.? Answer on a postcard to P.O. Box, London, NW, 4P Crisps. That will be all. Lots of love. Go away.
My grandmother taught me that if you look after the pennies, you can hold up queues in supermarkets by paying really slowly for your shopping in coppers.
Can I come in?
Of course you can.
Are you decent?
I'm always decent. I'm in my office.
Right, because I'm not.
Oh, my goodness. Why are you wearing women's underwear?
Don't worry, it's not what you think. I'm practicing for work.
You work here?
Yeah, not anymore. As of this morning, I am the new face of Agent Provocateur.
As in the upmarket sexy lingerie for women?
That's the one. I was applying eardrops in the staff kitchen when the phone goes. Hello, is that Adrian? It is. Hello, Adrian. It's the head of picking knicker models for Agent Provocateur. How do you feel about being snapped for our new spring range, tiny, expensive thongs? It's going to be classy. There's a velvet chaise longue and everything. Really? Well, they're my favourite kind of upholstered couch. So is that a yes? Oh, yes, with ruddy double thumbs.
It's just normally they use interesting, famous, pretty women like Maggie Gyllenhaal and Kate Moss.
Ah, yes, but maybe they're tired of that routine. Women's lingerie worn by attractive women. Change the record, DJ Cliché. Let's get a 43-year-old IT solutions manager from Southampton, dress him in a demi-bra basque and teasing hold-ups. He's a mixologist with added software skills, so if your system's running slow, he can mega up your hard drive with a quick disk defrag. And then look at your computer. Steamy Windows XP.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Bodybuilder turned actor turned politician. And he only trained for the first of those three.
Once again, I'm outside the Institute for Useless Scientific Research. Professor Gladys Vole is with me. What have you got to tell us?
Well, for many years, there's been a belief that the way to tell if an elephant has been in your fridge is the footprints in the butter. We can now state with scientific confidence that the way to tell if an elephant has been in your fridge is if the fridge is broken, there's eggs and milk on the floor, and a cold and angry elephant is standing in your kitchen, drinking the last of your Tropicana.
Professor, that's useless.
Thank you very much. Oh, hold on, stop, wait, sorry. Oh, I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Annabelle from next door.
Oh, hi there. I'm Tom.
Hi, Tom. I'm sorry to interrupt your fitness regime, but I just wanted to make a quick inquiry about your short shorts.
Sorry, what?
They're shorts, but they're missing about a foot of fabric on each leg.
Yeah, my running shorts.
They're not really running, though, are they? They're skimming, bordering, unveiling.
Sorry, I don't really know what you're...
The mouse is no longer in the house, Tom. Mr. Sands is on the stairwell. Elvis has left the building. Everyone can see the Admiral. There's a dog loose in the wood.
Oh, right.
So I just wanted to ask whether you'd be wearing them again tomorrow, or whether you want a woman about my height and about my face to run up alongside and punch you in what some simply call the royal box.
Well, I'll probably not wear them.
Correct. Run on! My father helped design a software program that translates what animals are saying when they make a noise. And there's no real surprises. When cows say moo, they mean moo. When dogs say woof, they mean woof. And when cats say meow, they mean I have gone toilet behind one of your cupboards, but I'm not going to tell you which one. Ha!
And in science news, the IUCSR, the Institute for Useless and Childish Scientific Research, has made a groundbreaking discovery.
Yes, we have found that by using an ordinary biro and an everyday toilet doors, you can make the employers of the Institute for Useless Scientific Research believe Professor Gladys Vole is a he-lady with both male and female goodies.
That's useless and childish.
I know! High five!
I have carved out a niche amongst my group of friends as the sort of person who uses the phrase, carved out a niche.
Welcome to the United Planetary Super Council, once 4, now 3. First point of order, an electrofield in the subsphere of Pluto.
Oh, sorry I'm late. I, Pamela Harrison, Bedfordshire County Council, etc. Oh, you would not believe the traffic around the Horsehead Nebula. Group memo, that multi-dimensional gyratory system needs clearer signagement. Nobody knows what they're doing. So, what did I miss? What?
Did you not get my text?
No?
Right. Well, this is quite embarrassing. Larvatron, tell her with your fiery power, please.
Pamela, see, what it is is that Lunopola has something she wishes to tell you.
Oh, thanks a lot, guys. Yeah, cheers. Really appreciate it.
What is it, Lunopola? Is it that astronaut?
No. We've both agreed it would be a one-off. No, it's... We no longer require your services on the council.
What? Why?
Because we joined the council to protect the universe from evil, not sit around in diversity seminars making spreadsheets for washing up mugs.
Well, we wouldn't have to if everyone cleaned their own.
Don't look at me. I don't like hot drinks.
It's not just the mugs, Pamela. Thanks to you and your red tape, we spend half our time filling in forms and less time out there doing actual universal policing.
Oh, so what, you're just going to serve and protect the universe without policy, without procedures or a customer charter? You're just going to go out there and deal with the danger as and when it strikes?
Yes.
That's exactly what we're going to do.
Well, good luck with that. You'll need it. They tried it once in Buckinghamshire. There was total confusion and it all ended in tears when a bollard won a certificate of achievement and a disabled woman got installed as a traffic calming measure on the Aylesbury Road.
If Belinda Carlisle was right and heaven is a place on earth, I just hope it's not Bicester. Because that would be hell.
I used to be very competitive with my sister Louise, but she always managed to outdo me. I learnt to ride a bike, she learnt to ride a unicycle. I did 4 A-levels, she did 5. I trained as a legal secretary, she became a criminal barrister. So last year, when she announced she was undergoing gender realignment surgery to become a man, I seized my chance for victory. And what I did was, I too went for gender realignment surgery, but I paid my doctor $5,000 to graft hooves onto my feet. So while she is living as a man called Henry, I am living as a centaur called King.
Please take a seat, Mrs. Dabrowski. My name is Janet. Have you been to a dating agency before?
Oh, Janet, this is actually my first time.
Right. Well, what happens is we ask you some questions, fill your answers into our profile creator, and cross-reference your profile with our extensive database of single men to find you the perfect partner.
How magical.
So, let's start with number 1. Describe yourself in 3 words.
Okay, Janet, I would say strong, independent, tyrannical.
Tyrannical?
Yes, I used to be a tyrant of a small Soviet state, and it's difficult to make that work if you're easygoing.
Sure. What would you say your hobbies and interests are?
Absolute power, using public funds to buy thousands of pairs of shoes, and watching really long queues for bread.
And is there anything particular you're looking for in a partner?
Ideally, he'd be a submissive coward with an oversized mustache.
Right. Well, we'll put that into the system and hopefully line you up with a few dates.
Yes, you will, Janet. Because I would hate for one of us to wake up to see crocodile footprints on the carpet and then go to the mirror and see our head had been crunched off. Do I make myself clear?
Yes.
Can I keep this pen? Thank you very much.
My mother used to tell me, "You're not fat, darling, you're just short for your weight." And then I would say, "But Mum, I'm 6'3". Then she'd laugh for about 10 minutes and say, "I know, I was joking. Ha, ha, ha. You're absolutely massive. Ompa chompa, ompa chompa. Hey, fatty bongo, get back in the sea."
My hero is Simon Says, or any dictator that can control my kids.
It wasn't rocket science. You get a lot of Londoners coming down here for the weekend, staying in B&Bs and hotels and cottages and what have you. And it didn't take us long to realise that there was nowhere in the local area where they could pay way over the odds for organic produce. So I put a sign saying "Farm Shop, Idiots Welcome" on the door of my garage and filled it with buckets of muddy vegetables and dolphin-friendly fruit. They can't get enough of it. They say, have you been to that farm shop with the locally reared apples? They're only $49.95 and you get a free plastic bag which only costs 80p. I've started doing salad boxes. Leaves, rice, handful of beans. They won't buy them if they're less than 20 quid. It's been so successful, I'm opening another shop next week. It's called Overpriced Wooden Furniture and Pictures of Pigs.
My brother is one of those really annoying people who's into extreme sports. I'm an adrenaline junkie, don't give me socks for presents, give me something that's going to make me feel totally alive. So I went to this extreme experience gift website and bought him 3 years in the most dangerous jail in Texas. I'm hoping it's going to shut him up.
Hello, are you Olga Dabrowski?
Yes, I am.
I'm Jim, from the internet dating place.
Hello, Jim from the internet dating place. Sorry, I did not recognize you because in your photo you're many years younger and have not yet put on all this weight.
Oh, yes, sorry. It's a bit of an old photo.
I am not one to talk, Jim, because unlike my photo, I am not sitting on an emerald throne, resting my feet on 2 peasants who I will shortly slay with crocodiles for impersonating a footstool.
Well, they didn't send me a picture.
But the funny thing is, I also killed 5 other people that day for not impersonating living room furniture. Women, hey? We're always changing our minds.
Did you just say you killed people?
Well, yes, I was a tyrant, so wake up and smell the coffee, Jim, and then kill people.
Sorry, a tyrant?
Yes, it's the same as being a sales representative like yourself, only instead of driving around the country in a car, selling things to people, you sit in your 200-bedroom palace and condemn people to an exciting range of crocodile-themed deaths. There was one I did called Catch-22. Okay, I throw 22 crocodiles at you, and if you don't catch them, you will be their lunch. And if you do catch them, you will be shot for carrying crocodiles without a license. Those are the rules. I know, I was such a Monica.
Good evening. Can I just tell you the specials? We have sea bream with a sauce vierge and then a spicy spatchcock chicken, which is chicken with the bones taken out, put on a stick and then barbecued over hot coals.
Just like at home.
Don't tell me that was another cruel death you exposed people to.
No, Jim, it was something my mother used to cook for me when I was young. She died when I was only 6.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm pulling your leg, Jim! It was one of the ways I killed people if the crocodiles were busy or having a day off. My mother didn't die until she criticized the way I ran the economy. I was like, hey, Mommy, I've got some soft-scented chocolates for you. Oh, thank you, Olga. You are so... Oh, no, that's right. It's not chocolates, Mommy. Just a big man who's put you in a sack, driven you to the woods, thrown you down a well, and then filled it up with concrete. Booyah!
Oh,
I'm having such a good time, Jim. Are you enjoying yourself, or do you want to wake up tomorrow morning and find some soft-scented chocolate waiting for you in an unmarked car?
I'm having a lovely time.
Oh, I'm so pleased. I think this is going to be the start of a beautiful, unequal relationship. I love Marilyn Monroe, and a lot of people say I look like her, but that's because I've stapled a photo of her to my face. Welcome back to Paris Chat, and that was of course the new single by boy band Pan Raisin called I Will Fight For You. Oh no wait, I Will Surrender. Bonjour, my name is Sandrine, and this week I'm joined by celebrated artist Renaud Beyer, whose paintings are not visible to the human eye. His last piece was an invisible replica of the 1980s, and his latest work, This Is Art Because I Say So, is currently hanging inside his mind. Renaud, by making art that is not visible to the human eye, what is it that you are trying to say?
Well, it is partly to deconstruct the notion that art must be something that exists, but I suppose it is mainly to show the art world that I am French, so I'm really great.
Yes, indeed. But it is not just that we are really great. It is also that we are better than everybody else. For example, pick a name from a cat. People from England.
Yes, and I tell you something very interesting. This morning I put my cigarette out in a stale croissant. The croissant then fell to the floor, and a passing beggar woman picked it up, licked it, and then fed it to a pigeon. And when the croissant comes out of that pigeon, it will be still better than the people from England.
No, that is so obvious. It has a face. And yet we are joined in the studio by the author of England Amazing, Jeremy Field. Jeremy, you are stupid and always wrong. What do you have to say? Jeremy? Oh, my mistake. It is not Jeremy. It is just a picture of someone reading his book and hating it. That is all we have time for this week. To play us out, it is a new track from jazz troupe Quiche Lorraine with Vegetarians May Pick Out the Meat.
Talking and Not Talking starred Laura Solon with Rosie Cavaliero, Ben Moore and Ben Wilbond. It was written by Laura Solon with additional material from Ben Moore, Bryony Redman and Sonia Vine, John Hunter and Holly Walsh, and Charlie Miller. The script editor was Jeremy Dyson, and the producer was Colin Anderson.